Alright, hello YouTube. I'm back once again, and I have a little something for you Hammond and Leslie fans. What we have here is a number 5 new old stock Leslie brake kit. And what this actually does, it gives the Leslie 122 fast, slow, and stop. And probably some of you maybe didn't know that back then, before they came up with a solid state and those ESI and things and relays in order to give you um, actual brake on the Leslie 147s and 45s and 247s and stuff. Before that time, they actually had an actual brake kit, and for some reason, I guess these wasn't very popular because I can't find any information on it. So if any of you know, more information on it, you can just write me on the comment box, because the only thing I really know is that they had these back in the 60s, I believe. What this actually is, this is actually the separate relay. Probably can't see that, so it's Leslie Model 5 brake kit, 115 CST, and this is for the 122, and they had one for the 147 as well. So you got your corral, tremolo, and brake would be for the middle. This is really hard to move because it's actually brand new, just new old stock. And what this would do, this would actually sit in on top of your Leslie amplifier and the brake accessory outlet, which is where this little plug sits with the jumper wire to give you slow. So if you actually have one, don't lose this, because that wire there is what gives you the jumper for slow. Because if you ever were to take this out and try to switch to corral, you'll have stop, so you only have fast and stop. And this actually replaced your actual switch if you actually have a corral and tremolo switch. And this piece ran all the way from the organ over to the Leslie. And I'd actually like to have more of these. So if any of you have any of these and want to sell them, just let me know, because I love these kind of these original switches. And this is your delay relay tube, which sits on top of the actual external relay that provides the brake. Sits on top there, 9-pin. Because I prefer the clicking. I'm not really interested in the solid state relays, because once you buy the solid state relays, then you have to buy the actual compatible switch to work with it, because it actually has a diode in it, I believe, to actually control that brake. But this is just actually like just a drop in. You just drop it in, and the relay here actually gives you all the three options. But it works with the relay and the amplifier, but this relay gives you the brake. Okay, so I'll go and hook it up, and I'll show you how it works. Okay, so this is this is actually a Leslie 45 that I converted into a 142 by putting a 122 amplifier in it, of course, and then I just added motor stacks. I didn't go and buy a Hamptone 2-speed kit. I just wanted, since I already had motor stacks, and I still do have them, and as well as single motor stacks, I just did my own modification with it and made it into a 142. And this is a Leslie I pieced together under $300, so I think that was pretty nice. And of course, I chose the styrofoam rotor because I love that design. I like the wooden rotors too, but I really love the design of the styrofoam, because it gives me that 70s feel. Because I love seeing the 70s Leslies with the white rotor, and some 147s that have the beige one. Okay, so this is where it would hook at in your brake accessory up there. Hooks right there with your tube. And then you have your wire going across here So you have pretty much two wires going to from the Leslie, your Leslie cable, and then your control, and then it replaces your actual switch here. Well, this is actually the first switch before Corral, and before they had the actual two-speed Leslie, they had fast and off. So this is actually the first switch, actually on and off. But you can use that with an actual Leslie because off would be fast and on would be Corral. So I'm gonna go ahead and start it up so you guys can see how it responds, and then we'll do the switching so you can see how this actual brake kit works. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and turn the organ on. We don't need to start the tone wheel because we only need to power to the Leslie, and I have the control switch set to Corral. Okay, so the relay's clicked in. So the setting is on Corral, so there's Corral. And then we're going to hit the switch over to Tremolo, which is on this side. And there's your Tremolo. And we can switch back and forth just like a regular switch. Corral. And Tremolo. And then we're going to go to stop. And this actually takes about 5 seconds or less, depending on you know, how it responds. I've seen it take 5 seconds. I've seen it take 1 second. So it's just all in how it responds. Okay, so we're going to go to the middle and hit off for brake. And this is actually gonna, what it actually does for the 5 seconds, it coasts the motor so it can get that lower rotor down to enough speed so when it goes to brake, that lower rotor is not just constantly coasting. So we'll go to off. And you have brake. There it is. And then if you want to go to Corral, it will take a little bit to kick in. Give it a minute. And then you have Corral. And if you hit off, and there it is, brake. Then we can just come from brake to Tremolo. Alright, so that's how these worked when they were sold in the 60s. Probably later than that, but from what I've been seeing, it looks like this one that I got was bought in the 60s because I got it from eBay, and it was a new old stock. Still have the Leslie box and things like that, and it was still, you know, kind of wrapped, and it even still had that old even still has that old very very strong you know, factory smell to it. So yeah, it's pretty cool that I found one of these. And if anyone has any that they want to sell, just let me know. I'll buy all these that I can because I actually love these. I'm not interested in solid state relays. They're nice to have for recording purposes, but me personally, I prefer the clicking on any Leslie. I love to hear the clicking, the mechanical relay. So there it is, Corral, Tremolo. We'll go to off. Break. And you can come from break to corral. There's a little bit of delay, but I don't mind that. Into off. Then from corral, then from off to tremolo. And from tremolo we can just switch to corral. Does the same thing a regular switch does. And from corral to tremolo. And from tremolo to break. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So this is how these kits actually worked back in the day, when you have that option to buy them to have corral, off, and tremolo. So yes, they did indeed have these kits available back then before we'd have the solid state relays and things like that. So I hope you Leslie fans and Hammond techs enjoyed this video, because I really love these kits, and I'll be back with you if I find any other things interesting that I'd like to share with you. Alright, peace out.